Come, yo, John. There's no need for this. What? Swing it. I dare you. I dare you. Swing it. Swing it.
Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. If you are new, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and turn on notification bell so you never miss an upload. This video is only for educational purposes. Now, let's get into today's video.
Hello. Please, I need the police. I need the police here. We are in Somebody spoil my phone. Somebody spoil my phone here. 等一下，我看你大姐，你进来了。
你等一下，我就把拆除了。
不要出来。
我把这个拆除了，过来。
大姐，你进。
我把这个不要动我。
不要动吧，他。
我你妈就是个野了，你跑我就劈你，叫你不要动我。你跑啊，你就动不动，对不对？
不要打我！
你别动我，你别动我！
打我吗？打我！
打你妈个！
打我！不要出来！大姐，
You don't have police station here?
Huh?
Police?
Police come here need 20
大姐，
minutes.
你等警察过来。
No waiting.
你什么人怕？
The old man is waiting, no waiting.
大姐，你等警察过来呀！
不要动我！
大姐，
不要动我啊！
走了，把那个船走了，你还是被那个走了，船出哪里？你说他走了，船出哪里？
After watching this entire incident, I have to say that I don't support violence in any form. But from what I saw, this was not about someone looking for a fight. It looked like a man standing up for himself and refused to be intimidated. The African man, who sounded Nigerian to be based on his accent, was not willing to back down. He stood his ground and demanded to be treated with respect. I think many Africans can relate to this situation, where they feel they treated differently or looked down on when they are living or traveling abroad. Sometimes people choose to stay quiet because they are afraid of getting into trouble in a country that isn't not their own. But this brother was not having it. He made it clear that if someone disrespects you, they should at least apologize. He was also serious about calling the police and wanted the matter to handle properly. From what I observed, the other man did not seem interested in apologizing. Instead, he appeared to act as though he had the upper hand because he was in his own country. That was the impression his attitude gave throughout the confrontation. Another thing that stood out to me was that it seemed like he expected other people to come to his rescue, but that never happened. Even when he tried to act aggressively and intimidate, the African man did not work. It did not work. The African man remained calm, stood firm, and insisted that he pick up his belongings and wait until the police arrived. Watch until the end because there is also another video making the round where our white man allegedly provoked a black man and let's just say the outcome was not what he expected. Some people will describe it as karma. I'll let you know. Watch the clip and decide for yourself. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think the African man handled the situation the right way? What would you have done if you were in his position? Let me know in the comment below.
Stop talking to me. Which way? Stop talking to me, bro. Go sit down. You got that man. Oh, you know where I'm from? Do I look like I give a f? I'm in London, bro. I don't give a f. You in South, remember that. Why are you trying to threaten me? No one's threatening you. Just leave me the f alone. What's wrong with you, bro? I said don't push me out of the way. Then don't run into me. But I'm simple, man. I dare you. I really dare you. Come on, my life. I dare you. I dare you, bro. Come here. I dare you. Come on now. I ask you. Let's go. Let's go. I dare you. I love you, bro. Let's go now. Oh, listen. Afro man. Come. Yo, Joe. There's no need for this. What? Swing it. I dare you. I dare you. Swing it. Swing it. Don't.
So that's basically how everything went down. And I have to admit, I could not help but laugh at part of it because the whole situation was just unbelievable. What really stood out to me was the level of confidence this guy had. He acted as if he could intimidate the African man simply by raising his voice and acting tough. Some people carry themselves with a sense of entitlement, believing that everyone else is supposed to back down when they step forward. He even kept calling him with other names as if that was supposed to be an insult. But having an afro is simply natural black hair, so it is hard to see why he thought that would offend anyone. The way he was talking made it sound like he was ready to overpower the other man, maybe because he was bigger, taller, and had a larger build. He seemed convinced that his size alone would be enough to scare someone. Honestly, for a moment, I thought the situation was about to turn physical because how aggressively he was behaving. But as you all saw, things did not play out the way he seemed to expect. The African man did not back down, and the outcome was completely different from what the other guy appeared to have in mind. What I could see, it did not look like there was a prolonged fight. Everything happened so quickly. Another thing I noticed was the reaction from some of people around them. It seemed like many only responded after the man ended up on the ground. But based on the clip, you can also hear that there was a lot of verbal provocation before things escalate. This is important because it helps explain why the confrontation reached that point. What really surprised me was how one slap appeared to end the whole situation. He fell to ground and did not seem to get back up immediately. I honestly was not expecting that. One thing I have learned from traveling is that people are just people, no matter where they are from. Sometimes individuals act as tough. They can intimidate others or expect people to stay quiet. But that attitude does not always work. That's why I respect the confidence shown by the African man in the earlier train incident, instead of accepting what he could believe was unfair treatment. He stood his ground, insisted on his right, and wanted the police to handle the situation. To me, that's an example of standing up for yourself without simply accepting disrespect. I am not encouraging violence, not at all, not. I don't want to see anyone get hurt, but I do believe that when someone is being provoked or treated unfairly, they have every right to speak up, defend themselves within the law, and make it clear that they deserve respect. I have always also noticed that more people today are willing to call out behavior they believe is unfair instead of staying silent. That's different from looking for a conflict. It's about refusing to accept mistreatment. One thing I believe is that everyone should be judged by the same standard. If someone provokes another person, that behavior should not be excused because of who they are. Likewise, if someone responds the fool should be considered before people rush to conclusion. Respect should go both ways, regardless of the race, nationality, or background. If someone crosses the line, it's okay to speak up, stand your ground, and seek justice through the proper channel. That's how disagreements should be handled in a fair and equal society. Let me know your thoughts in the comment, and if you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.